This is Julie Sprankles with Charleston Home and Design Magazine. I'm here with Steve Rogers with California Closets and Brenda White, the homeowner of this lovely home here on Seabrook. Now, Brenda, I understand that you contacted Steve about some different pantries and closet spaces for your home. What exactly were you looking for?
Just wanted a lot of shelving, wanted a lot of convenience when you put your stuff away, having, easy access. Lots of room, I still wanted the openness of having shelving and storage, but I needed a lot of it.
Now, Steve, when you meet with a client, what kind of questions do you ask to determine what her needs were?
Depending on first of all, what kind of spaces are we looking at? And there were a couple of different areas in the house that we were looking at: the pantry, the master closet, and then a couple other closets through the house. So, and then once we realized what closets we're looking at, then how the Whites were going to use this room and who would be staying in this room, or what kind of storage items are going into that closet. And then we kind of custom designed the shelving or baskets or drawers and so forth around how that space was going to be used.
Now, what is the difference between a California Closets organizational system and some other company or run-of-the-mill type of cabinetry?
All closet systems are installed a little bit differently. Ours uses a rail mounting system. What that enables us to do is everything is square and plumb, independent of floors or walls being on. So that's one of the benefits of a California Closet system. That's sort of the product side of it. What I take the most pride in with our company and with our designers is that we spend a lot of time with the customers to make sure that they're actually getting a customized design for exactly what they need. So it's more on the service side of it, I think, than really on the product side. And
Brenda, are you and your husband Herb happy with all the customization options that you guys had?
Oh yes, it's been great. Steve had some really good ideas with the planning and stuff, and I'm sure you'll see that when you go through and look at the different areas.
Well, we are currently in the kitchen, and I understand you did the pantry, so why don't we go and check that out? Okay. Well, here we are at the pantry, and one thing I noticed right away, guys, is this shelf here, and it looks like it has some fresh grocery bags on it. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that?
That was the design that Steve came up with in offering to help me be able to better plan. Coming in and you've got all your groceries and stuff, he said, why don't we just leave this space open so that you've got places to just drop your stuff, and if you get called away, it's still there until you can come back and put it away.
Which is a great idea. I mean, I think every woman in the world would agree. Now, another thing I noticed here is this wine rack with plenty of space for them to grow their collection. What are some of these other kind of unique nooks and crannies? I mean, obviously there's tons of storage space here. What kind of things did you put in here to make it really special and customized for them?
Well, in talking with them about how they're going to use the room, the leaving some taller space to the floor for things like coolers and soda boxes and cases and stuff like that of soda. The baskets for plastic bags and grocery bags, and the corner shelves are also really good to pick up on the linear shelf space. The drawers that you see under the wine rack there, we call those can drawers. Basically allows you to load up an entire, what would normally be a shelf space, and then you can pull it in and out and you can access everything. So where normally cans get lost on the back of a shelf, that allows you to have access to everything on that space. And then going around the closet, also behind the door there, we designed a little sort of a mop and broom area, somewhere where it's kind of out of sight, but it keeps everything neat and tidy so you don't have brooms falling over you when you're going into the closet.
Which seems to be a common kind of cleaning conundrum. Where do you put all those cleaning supplies? And then I noticed there are some pull-out, shelves and baskets here.
Mm-hmm. We have some bins right there that Mrs. White is using for garbage bags and shopping bags, which are great because where do you end up putting those? You know, it's usually one of the things that's not really thought of, and where to keep them in an organized fashion.
Well, it looks like you created a really custom space here, again, with plenty of storage options. Let's move upstairs and see what you guys did up there. We're now upstairs, and this is a space I really wanted to stop and kind of point out. It's a smaller space here in the house, but it's one that most people don't have and really sorely need. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did here?
Well, in order to alleviate some of the linen storage that would normally be under cabinets or stuffed into the guest closets, they had this space here in the hallway. And what we did is we did some deeper shelves on the bottom down. In this case, we did go down to the floor, so that blankets and large towels, bath towels, can fit on the deeper shelves. And then as it goes up, the shelves graduate, recess to the back, so that from a standing position you can still reach to everything in the closet. So toiletries and hand towels would go on the top.
Brenda, how do you enjoy having that nice deep shelving?
It's great. You can put all kinds of towels, and especially the graduated top. I like how you did that because you don't have to get a ladder to get in there, and you can still see what you have up there. So it's worked out real well.
So it looks like you do have some kind of toiletries and things like that, which is nice because you have a space where now your medicine cabinets don't have to get super cluttered, and I'm sure you and your husband already fight for space anyway. So is this a space that you will tend to keep using just for linens, or are you going to add some other stuff in here?
No, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. So we'll keep the smaller stuff on the top, and the linens as they are. So it's turned out to be a good closet.
Steve, is this a kind of application that you're doing more in homes nowadays?
Certainly, when most often we do master bedroom closets, but when you're working with a small space like that, if the homeowner is really trying to get everything out of the closet space, then we'll go to the like the secondary closets and work with those.
Well, speaking of closets, let's check out the giant master closet. We're now in the master closet, and Steve, what kind of things? This is clearly kind of a unique shaped space. How did you address that coming in?
Well, the process always starts with where do you want to be on what side of the closet, and how do you envision the space working? And in this particular space, worked out very well because Mrs. White took this part of the closet, and Mr. White took the left side, which left that alcove towards the back in the window area to be used as a seasonal storage area, so they can move things in and out seasonally. So that's kind of how we, just going through a process of how do you want to use the closet, and where will you store things, and then this little nook over here, I think we were both very happy with how that turned out under the window, because we were worried about just losing space under the window without doing anything with it. And Mrs. White also wanted to make sure that she had enough drawer space, and that worked out pretty well under there.
Well, I imagine you got plenty of drawer space in here.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite features of this closet? I mean, obviously there are a lot of really cool things like the pull-out bins and lots of shelving, some dividers. What's your favorite part of this?
Well, that's what he teases me about, being a gadgety person. I love that whole wall of cubbies over there. It's just like my little thing, because I can put anything in there I want. That's my thing. But no, I like the shoe feature here. That was funny when we were talking about how many shoes do you have. You don't really realize how many shoes you have until you start trying to think of where all you have your shoes. But that's turned out really good. Our dirty clothes hamper, the pull-out bins has turned out very convenient. We like that feature, and I love the shelves. This is every woman's dream closet.
I definitely agree. It's beautiful. I covet it right now. Steve, how can putting one of these California Closets organizational systems, I mean, especially something as grand and wonderful as this, could that help with resale? Not that she ever wants to move, I'm sure, out of this beautiful house, but if they wanted to in the future, is that something that could help?
It does, and it's hard to say, to put a figure on it, whether it's going to trade out dollar for dollar in resale. But what we do notice is that when there's a comparable home, a home that does have a California closet system versus one that doesn't. Obviously, it gets, it moves a lot quicker than those that don't. And the biggest advantage that we have with our closet systems is that if Mrs. White were to decide to move, we'll come in and restage the closet if she'd like, so that it can be redesigned for a new homeowner. So we customize it for each homeowner. If they're going to sell it, we can come in and modify the system as you see it, so that it might be a more general design.
That's very convenient. And Brenda, how do you and your husband feel about the finished result of all these great spaces?
Oh, we love it. We love it. It's one of those things we can't wait to be down here full time, just to be able to enjoy being here, and enjoy what we've done.
Enjoy all this great space and organized space, which is important nowadays. Well, Steve, I'm sure people are going to want to get in touch with you about finding an organization system for their own home. How can people reach out to you?
Our phone number is 843-762-7980, or our website is californiaclosets.com. And currently our shop location is on James Island at 1750 Signal Point Road. That's James Island or Charleston, 29412.
Is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers right now about your systems? Anything that might help them in deciding what kind of system they might want for themselves?
Really, the first step is just to assess what kind of space you have, and then what needs to go into that area. What we have done more often is, with the advent of the internet and everything being online, we'll often get requests for what can I do with this space with a photo attached, and we can do a lot of things just via the internet, back and forth. So if you have any questions, if you want to get any ideas of what you might be able to do, what's possible, then please go ahead and email us your closet measurements and a wardrobe inventory, and we can give you an idea.
And is the email address on the website that they can contact you at?
It is. My email address is srogers, that's SROGERS, at calclosets.com.
Wonderful. Well, again, we've been speaking with Steve Rogers with California Closets and homeowner Brenda White. Thank you guys so much for meeting with us.
Thank you.